Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Make sure to subscribe for more content like this. I'm going to talk about Tokyo Revengers again. I've talked about it yesterday, but I'm going to talk about Mikey. Mikey is probably my favorite. Him or Dragon are my two favorite characters in the show. Mikey's just a badass, and they call him the unbeatable Mikey. He's like the leader of the gang, and he has this like kick that like stops everybody in their tracks. And, they, like, never lose. He doesn't really kill people. And he kind of did, but then, like, it went back in time and then stopped him. And he only talks to interesting people, and he found the main character interesting. He has a little sister that's into Dragon. And, I don't know. He seems like a good guy. He started this whole group. Well, he didn't start it. He became the leader. Everyone follows him and they respect him. And then, stuff happens and then they go back. Like, the whole time travel thing kind of... I'm not the biggest fan of time travel, but, like, I guess it makes sense in this instant. And Mikey, he's got some things that are very important to him. And the things that are very important to him are his gang, his bike, and his family. And his friends. So, if you destroy his bike, which his bike was his brother's who was killed, he'll kill you. If you, pick a fight with his friends and you hurt his friends, he'll kill you. Family, too. I think family is very important to him. He's a very loyal man. And I think he has the right intentions most of the time, but he doesn't always do them, if that makes sense. Like, he has the right intentions to do the right things, but, like, how he does things isn't always the right way to do it. If that makes any sense. Like, Mikey gets pretty mad that, somebody hurt his brother, which is reasonable. But then he says he forgives him, but then he's like, haha, just kidding, I don't forgive you. And then one of his best friends leaves, and he's like, well, if you don't go back get my best friend, I'm going to kill you. It's like, that's his threat most of the time. It's like, okay, that's an interesting way to get people to do what you want, but you shouldn't. But he's also, like, one shot, like, everybody he's ever fought with one kick, and then, like, the leader of the Valguard stopped one of his kicks, But that is the whole premise of the show, is showing... Well, the premise is a lot of things. But you can definitely tell it's far from done, because the main character hasn't achieved his goal yet. And Mikey is kind of delusional. I think he has that, like, thing... Well, I think he just believes people. Because, like, they let this, like, guy in that nobody wants in, and he doesn't, like, trust anybody on their judgment. And then, like... Dragon got saved by, the main character, and, like, his relationship with Dragon, like, they fight constantly like brothers, because they are brothers. They are brothers. They are, even if they're not, like, blood brothers, they are actual, like, they have a brotherly bond, the two of them. And Dragon, like, kind of, like, guides Mikey in the right direction, and, Also, I want to say this. It seems like characters that wear flip-flops are almighty and all-powerful. Like, look at Luffy, dude. His kicks are fucking crazy. It's the flip-flops, man. It's the fucking flip-flops. Now, he runs a whole gang of people, and, like, he has his own territory, and it was a biker gang. And he has his own bike that was his brother's, and, like, that's interesting as it stands. But he originally drove a moped, which, he got made fun of for because the moped kind of sucked, which is fair, I guess. But it's insane to think that that this guy named Mikey, runs this whole gang and makes people do what he says, and, like, because he seems like a genuinely nice guy. I don't know much about him, but it is crazy to think that, I would never want to run a whole gang. I'd think I'd suck ass at it. And then, like, the second Mikey's introduced, he like seems like everyone like wants his power, like not wants his power, but like respects him. And they're like, why do the people respect him? And then they show you why people respect him, because he's the invincible Mikey. He is the invincible Mikey, which he has troubles, obviously. Like, his brother died and he wanted to kill the guy who killed his brother, but then he had to forgive him because, you know, that's just how things worked. That member of his gang, and he was trying to help Mikey, but that whole situation made no sense to me. Why, like, the other guy thinks it wasn't. It was all Mikey's fault. Why? Because he was doing it for Mikey, but Mikey never asked you to do it. Like, that's such a stupid reason to be like, well, it's obviously Mikey's fault because he asked me to. No, he didn't ask you to do shit. He asked you to be a member of his gang, and then you went and tried to steal a bike and then murdered a guy. Like, a bike he was already gonna get. That's one thing. And I wish they would have shown more of his brother, because they always compare the brother to the main character, even though we know nothing about the brother. Barely anything, besides he owned a bike shop. And it's fun seeing Mikey when he was little, because he was always fighting people, and then he earned the respect of Dragon. And, like, I thought that was an interesting, premise, like, plot that was kind of brushed over real quick. But, and, like, every time it goes in the future, it seems like, I've only seen season 1, which is 24 episodes, I believe, 25, 24, something like that. And they never show what, like, Dragon, or Mikey is like in the future. They show Dragon in the future, and he's always been in jail and shit. But, like, they never show Mikey, and, like, I want to see what Mikey's like in the future, because, like, I think he's an interesting character, as I said before, because of his, like, personality and, like, what he's gonna do and how he's gonna do it, and how he's gonna, make people follow him, and how he's gonna make people do what he wants them to do. And I don't know. I think everybody likes Mikey, to be honest. I don't think there's a person who watches this show and is like, I don't like Mikey. Like, yeah, the main character you can have problems with, which I have problems with the main character, but, like, it's more like, I just don't think he's the greatest main character. I think Mikey would have been more interesting one, but also I think the side character really does fit him well. It suits him pretty well. Like, the fact that he is the side character and not the main character, and the fact that, he is who he is, and he is not the main character of the series, is quite fascinating, to the point that, like, Mikey is, like, he I don't think he has enough. I think he has enough story to be the main character, if that makes sense. But, like, I like seeing his story from somebody else's point of view. I think that really suits Mikey. Cause I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think it just makes sense. It makes sense in my head. And I think it would probably make sense to most people that I think Mikey would be he is a great character. He's a very well-written character, and his motives seeing his motives make sense. Like, if someone had killed my brother, I'd probably be mad too. But I wouldn't be able to forgive him as easily as he did. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.